Meanwhile, a win for Anthony Albanese as Parliament resumes for 2024. The coalition will support the changes the federal government made to Stage 3 tax cuts. Peter Dutton says they won't reverse them either and insists it isn't a shift in position, a claim the Treasurer was quick to jump on during question time.
The coalition is not going to stand in the way of providing support to Australians who are doing it tough.
Mr Speaker, the opposition leader called for an election on a policy that he is now voting for.
And while the Reserve Bank has left interest rates on hold, it warned more increases can't be ruled out. Inflation fell more than expected late last year, but it's still too high for the board's liking.
Oh God, that'd be terrible. Just on the tax cut stuff, firstly, props to those Labor members. They are excellent laughers.
I know.
Yeah.
I definitely need good laughers.
Oh, we could use some of them in the crowd here sometimes.
They were very, very professional. I feel like this is an amazing moment because this is the coalition surely admitting defeat on this issue. They now have to somehow go to the next election saying you can't trust Albanese, he's a liar, but at the same time we like his lie well enough to support it. And I don't know how, I'm not a political strategist, but I don't know how you run those two arguments at the same time.
Well, it would be political suicide, wouldn't it, to take money off people who really need it going into the next election. I think what needs to happen is a total overhaul of the way Australia is taxed. I think that's what the opposition needs to put forward at the next election.
But isn't the problem... So I reckon this issue, the Stage 3 tax cut, shows why that's so hard in Australia. Because the original coalition package was a wedge for Labor, right? It was making Labor vote on something they didn't want to. And then Albanese and his government have now pulled off what, from this point in time, looks like a masterstroke. Because they've broken a promise but gotten away with it. People are supportive of it. Laid a trap. Wedged them. And so when you're playing wedge politics with tax, you can never have good tax policy, like proper tax reform, can you?
Don't you think, though, that the latest news poll show that lots of people do support the tax cuts, because how could you not? But Anthony Albanese personally didn't actually get that sugar hit.
No, didn't get a benefit from it.
His kind of approval rating is still at the same place. So it'll be.
But I don't think it matters because what he's doing is stemming the bleeding. Everyone was upset with him about cost of living. He goes, all right.
They're having a great laugh.
So I guess the moral is, if you're a kid at home watching, lie, you'll get away with it. Everything will work out.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.